So they set him a place, Joseph, by himself, and them by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat food with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. So they have 3 tables, one for Joseph by himself, because Joseph was a Hebrew, one for the Egyptians who were present, and a 3rd table for the 11 brothers. So they were social distancing at meals back then even, right? Actually, no, what's happening here, the seating was segregated. The seating was segregated because the Egyptians could not eat with the Hebrews, it says, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. The Egyptians saw themselves as superior to all other ethnic groups and people. They viewed all other ethnicities as inferior. And so Egyptians ate only with Egyptians. So they had segregated dining in Egypt. This discrimination was happening 3,800 years ago in Egypt. You know, the Bible says that God made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on the face of the earth. We're all created by God, and we all come from one blood, meaning we're all descendants of Adam through Noah. We're all from the same family, one blood, one family. So there's not really a place for this kind of discrimination in the Scriptures. You know, in Revelation, it describes the redeemed around the throne of God in heaven, and they're described as redeemed to God by the blood of Jesus Christ out of every tribe and tongue and people and nation, which indicates those distinctions are retained in heaven. They're part of God's creative design, so they're good. And what unifies the redeemed in heaven is their shared focus on the Lamb, Jesus Christ. People from every tribe, tongue, people, and nation will be there, and we'll all be focused on Jesus and worshiping Him. And I love that when we come here, we focus on Jesus and worshiping Him. You know, one other point about verse 32, Egypt in the Scriptures is a picture of the world. And the Egyptians think the Hebrews are an abomination. Sometimes Christians try to fit into the world. Sometimes Christians try to fit into the world, but the world doesn't really want us fitting in with it. The world, you know, the world's not out there saying, how can we include the Christians? How can we accommodate the Christians? How can we make the Christians feel accepted? Jesus said, if the world hates you, remember the world hated me first. Paul said to those who are perishing, we are a dreadful smell of death. You know, if you've ever been around a dead animal, right? That's the picture that Paul's using. The world sees us as the dreadful smell of death, an abomination. The world doesn't want to accommodate us. The world doesn't want to include us. So we shouldn't expect the world to accept us or for the world to make a place for us. We're to be in the world but not of the world. You know, when we get to chapter 46, spoiler alert, Joseph's going to reveal himself to his family, and he's going to have his family move down to Egypt to live with him. He tells his family before they come down, when they go in to meet Pharaoh, he tells them, tell Pharaoh you're shepherds. And it says because shepherds are an abomination to the Egyptians. Joseph actually tells his family, make sure you tell him you're shepherds, because then he's going to separate you from the rest of the Egyptians because they don't want to interact with shepherds. What is Joseph doing? He is preserving his family's holiness. Their separated state. Tell them you're shepherds so you can preserve your separatedness from the world. So verse 33, and we're almost finished here, and they sat before him. Now look what it says. The firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked in astonishment at one another. Joseph had the steward seat his brothers in order by age, from the oldest to the youngest. So he's got them seated in order by age around the table, and the brothers are looking at each other with astonishment. How did he know what order to put us in? I mean, this is getting stranger and stranger and stranger for Joseph's brothers. Then verse 34, he took servings to them, Joseph here. So now Joseph, the prime minister, right? They think it's the prime minister. He gets up from his table. He took servings to them from before him, his own food. But Benjamin's serving was 5 times as much as any of theirs. So they drank and were merry with him. Now, why does Joseph do this? Why does Joseph give Benjamin 5 times as much food? He's testing his brothers. He's testing them to see if they've had a change of heart at all. Because years before, when Joseph received special treatment from their father and was given that coat of many colors, the brothers were envious. They were jealous. They hated Joseph because he received special treatment, and they sold Joseph into slavery. So this is a test to see how his brothers will respond to Benjamin's special treatment. You know, one way that the Lord can see the change in our hearts is by how we respond when others receive special treatment, or when others are successful or more successful than we are. Do we become envious? Do we become bitter? Do we become resentful? Do we say, hey, why did he get 5 times as much? That's not fair. Or why did he get selected? Or why did she get the promotion? Or why is that person more successful than me? I work harder than them. Are we envious? Or do we rejoice for their success? You know, the Bible says, weep with those who weep and rejoice with those who rejoice. And have you noticed that it's easier to weep with those who weep? It's easier to be sympathetic and empathetic when someone's going through a difficult time or a trial of some kind. That's easier than rejoicing with those who rejoice. Because rejoicing with those who rejoice, that really tests the heart. Right? And so can we rejoice with those who rejoice? Can we say, hey, congratulations. Hey, I'm happy for you. Praise the Lord. Glad that happened. You deserve it. So that's the test here. And look at the end of verse 34. It says, they drank and were merry with him, with Benjamin. So they weren't envious of Benjamin. They were happy for him. They were able to rejoice with him. Hey, praise the Lord, you got 5 times as much than we did. That's crazy. That's wonderful for you. And they passed the test. Their hearts were changed. So then the question you might think is, well, then why doesn't Joseph reveal himself right now? They passed the test. They got it right. Because there's another test. There's more tests to come. And for you and for me, we might think, why doesn't the Lord just come back today? Why doesn't the Lord just take us home? Why doesn't he just reveal himself and come down and take us up to heaven? What's he waiting for? He's preparing us. He's preparing us for heaven. He's preparing you for heaven. He's preparing me for heaven. He's preparing heaven for us, and he's preparing us for heaven. We're not ready yet. There's still more work to be done. But we are confident of this, that he that began the good work in us will complete it until the day of Christ Jesus.